Welcome back to my favorite part of the course. This is the word problems section of the entire course, and we're going to be using all of the skills that you've learned up to this point to solve some pretty tough word problems. So you're finally going to get to apply all those skills that you've learned into actual stories. So I'm going to go to the word problems section of our notebook. And if you have this worksheet, you have these problems for your own notebooks. And let's take a look at the first one. A customer at a Mexican restaurant ordered 3 burrito bowls that cost $B each and a plate of corn tacos for $12.96. His total bill was $32.46. Find the price of one burrito bowl. So let me do some highlighting here to make this a little bit easier to follow. The first thing they tell me, the first number fact, is 3 burrito bowls that cost $B each. And then he bought a plate of tacos for $12.96. It doesn't tell me how many tacos there were, but it doesn't matter. It gives me the total for all of them. And then his total bill was that amount. So there are 3 main pieces to this problem. We have the burrito bowls, plus, again, I don't care about individual tacos. I'm looking at the entire plate of tacos. And the total was this dollar amount, this constant amount. So this is, in essence, what the problem is saying. There's the total. Here's the plate part. And here is the, got my colors mixed up. The plate is yellow, the taco plate. And then we're talking about the burrito bowls, that's the green part. And then we just have to know that we have to add. That's total is a clue. That is one way to know that we're adding these things together, but it's also just sort of common sense. So never forget about your common sense. Okay, for the burrito bowls, it tells me that he bought 3 of them and that each cost $B. So 3 bowls, $B each. That's going to be 3B. Plus, we know the amount for the plate. We don't have to do anything. They told me that amount. Total is the equal sign, and $32.46 is the constant. So let me move this up a little bit and help you see that. So here's the equation written out there that we need to solve. So when you go to make your frame, this is going to be a 2-step equation. Nothing too serious along those lines. 32.46 is your constant. And the price of the burrito bowls is the variable. We need to know how much that cost. So we have 3B plus $12.96. I'm sorry if you're picking up background noise. I'm not sure what's going on next door, but hopefully it's not too loud. Okay, we need to move this amount over to the constant side. And you know my advice, partly because I have dyslexia, I have learned not to try to do mental math. but I would encourage you to type this in the calculator. Don't make a mistake here because of your subtraction. But when you do that, you should come up with 3246 minus 1296. This is why I always do this with you. You end up with 19.5, and that is the same as $19.50 for 3 burrito bowls. But we want to know about 1 burrito bowl. So let's divide the coefficient away, and you're left with 6.5, or $6.50 for 1 B. 1 bowl is $6.50. And this is why I like to use letters that make sense. Some teachers use X for everything, and that's okay. A variable can be anything. But to me, the variable should make sense. It should be the unit that I'm looking for. So in this case, we used a B for bowl. Price for 1 bowl is $6.50. Okay, let's try problem 2. Mr. Hewitt estimates the cost towards a fresh paint job for the exteriors of his home. He makes a provision for 12 gallons of paint priced at G per gallon. The cost of paint supplies and miscellaneous expenses are $2,264. The total estimated cost for the paint job is $2,624. And it occurs to me that I didn't give you a question here. I'm sorry, I left off the most important part. I want us to find the cost or the price of 1 gallon of paint. So please write that question in there, or that instruction. I just forgot to put it in, and I'm sorry. I'm not going to re-record everything just for that, but please make sure you write that in there, or this won't make much sense. Okay, the first fact that I need to notice is that he wants to buy 12 gallons of paint at G per gallon. Then we have the cost of paint supplies and other expenses. These would be like the brushes and the rollers and the drop cloths and the cleaners and painting tape. Anything else that's needed. Could also include labor if he's going to pay someone to paint his house. And then the third piece of this puzzle is the total. The total estimated cost is $2,624. So I have 3 pieces of this problem. Essentially, you have 3 expressions here. You have the paint expression. So obviously, if he's going to paint the house, he has to buy the paint. And the expenses, all the things I mentioned a minute ago. And all of that totals $2,624. Okay. So if we're looking at this with color, there's the blue part, there's the green part, and here's the yellow part. And we have to know that the word and means at. Total means equal. Okay, if we study that green part, we know that we need 12 gallons that are G each. So that's 12G. And we know that our expenses come up to this amount. And there's your problem that you need to solve. So bring in a frame if you're using this method. And we have 12G plus 2264 equals 2624. So this is the constant, and this is the variable. Okay. So we're going to do this one. Again, I would not take a chance here. Go ahead and type this into your calculator, and you will get 360. Divide this by 12, and you are left with 30. So let's think about what this means. G equals 30. 1 gallon is $30. The price per gallon. Okay, moving forward to problem 3. 3 persons, A, B, and C, together have $51. B has $4 less than A. C has got $5 less than A. Find the money that A, B, and C have. Okay, this problem is a little more abstract. It's not as easy to visualize as painting or Mexican food, but it still falls under the rules of algebra. So let's see what we can do here. A, B, C together have $51. Okay, that's not too bad. This is a little harder to understand. B has $4 less than A, and C has got $5 less than A. And we need to find the money that each one of these people have. So let's set it up in practical terms. Person A, person B, and person C together have $51. So there's the basic form of the equation. A, B, and C together have 51. So let's focus on B. This is the blue part. B has $4 less than A. So to get B's amount, I'm going to say A minus 4. 4 less than A. And then C has got 5 less than A. So A minus 5 is your C value. So I'm going to bring A down here, and everybody else is already lined up there, and we know that together they have $51. We have no parentheses, so we're ready to draw the frame. Okay. So I have A, and I'm going to put a ghost 1 there, plus A minus 4, plus A minus 5 is 51. So 51 is constant. And the variables are lined up on the left side. And sometimes students will ask if it matters if the variable is capitalized. And it does not as far as how we solve this problem. In geometry, sometimes those capital letters mean certain things, but the rules of algebra never change. So it doesn't matter what the letter looks like, you're still going to solve the problem the same way. So how many A's do we have here? I see 1A, 1A, and 1A. That's 3 A's. And let me just color code this so you can see. There's 1A plus 1A plus 1A. 3 A's. And then I have a -4 and a -5 that need to be combined. So you can say -4 subtract 5 to get -9. And now we are to something hopefully that's a little more familiar, because I need to move the 9 and cancel. So I'm left with 3 A's 60. And when I divide the coefficient out, I have A is 20. So whoever these folks are, person A has $20. And maybe that person is Mr. Adams or Mr. Applegate. It's variable. But person A has $20. But if you notice, it says to find the money that A, B, and C have. Well, we know A, so we have to do a little work to find B. Now B, they told me, was 4 less than A. So substitute your 20 there. So we're saying 4 less than 20. That's 20 subtract 4. And so B has $16. B is $16. And then to get C, you have to do sort of the same thing. They tell me that C is 5 less than A. So that is 5 less than 20. Because remember, we found A to be 20. So 20 subtract 5 is 15. C is 15. Okay. And the neat thing about this is that we can check our math. So to check this one, you need to add A plus B plus C, and you better get your constant. If you don't get that constant, something is wrong. But fortunately, this one checks out, and I can tell you that this is a finished problem with correct answers. But that is not an easy problem. This is an abstract problem. It's a little bit harder to see than the others. Okay, so that these videos don't get terribly long, I'm going to stop this one, and I'll see you in the next one for